Turkey is a vibrant, modern nation built on lands where civilization was born. It's a vast country packed with diverse cultural treasures, including 18 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and it's home to some of the most incredible landscapes on Earth. Digital nomad Andrew Evans is a boots-on-the-ground reporter, getting under the skin of over 100 countries for National Geographic. In this series, he gets to grips with Turkey, following ancient trade routes from eastern Anatolia to Istanbul, discovering a Turkey that's off the beaten track.
My quest to discover the hidden gems of Turkey begins right here, on the far eastern border of the country, among the ruins of the ancient city of Ani.
Andrew's journey through eastern Turkey begins in Ani. This vast landscape of ruins was once a large and incredibly wealthy city. Ani was the capital of the Armenian Bagratid Kingdom at the end of the first millennium. It was built on the Silk Road, which brought the riches to fund grand palaces and churches. Even now, the scale of this UNESCO World Heritage Site is awe-inspiring. Andrew is heading for the most impressive structure still standing, Ani Cathedral.
The Cathedral of Ani is a remarkable piece of architecture. It's also a bit of an optical illusion. From afar, it looks like it's just barely poking up from the rocks. But when you step inside, the building grows into this temple of almost perfect symmetry. You have squares, circles, archways that look as if they were just cut yesterday, when in fact, the building is over 1,000 years old. And that is what is so special about this place, that after empires and invasions and earthquakes, it's still standing. Looking up, you can see the shadows of the original Armenian frescoes and the artwork that was here before the Seljuk Turks arrived and whitewashed over it. But just like Turkey is a timeless place, the past is just beneath the surface.
Being wealthy and the regional seat of power made Ani a target for attack. And in 1236, the city was sacked by invading Mongols and was devastated further by a catastrophic earthquake in 1319. After Ani's demise, the seat of power moved to the nearby city of Kars. As a frontier settlement on key trading routes, it too has experienced a succession of invading armies and occupiers. Kars Castle looks out over the modern city and the basalt bridge, first built in the 16th century, which is both the city's gateway and its emblem. Andrew is joined by local historian Bengal Toprak.
This is volcanic stone, and
Okay.
you can see exactly in the eastern Anatolia 5 volcanic mountains. The biggest one is the Mount Ararat, and these basalt stones are coming from that mountains to here.
Okay, and then what is this building here?
These are the Ottoman baths. Also in the 16th century they were built. We know that the Alexander Pushkin is a writer, visited that and bathed inside.
So the hammam this is built 16th century,
Yes.
but then the Russians came when?
Russians came here in 1878 in the Russian-Ottoman War. They are coming here and they stayed here exactly 40 years until 1918. And they spent their times here and they rebuilt our city. This is the Ottoman neighborhood. Behind the Ottoman neighborhood, they rebuilt the Russian city and they called it as the small St. Petersburg.
A small St. Petersburg.
Yes.
Armenian Christians, Ottoman Muslims and Orthodox Russians have all left their mark on Kars, culturally and architecturally. Regime change means adaptations must be made. There's no better example of this than the Church of the Holy Apostles. Built by Armenians in the 10th century, it has been converted to a mosque, an Orthodox church, and back to a mosque in the 1,000 years since.
This is beautiful.
Yes, it's a beautiful place, you are right.
As a traveler, I recognize certain designs that I've seen in other parts of the world.
Yeah, you can see the outside the Armenian effects. You can see the inside the Islamic and the Russian effects.
Yes, well, this in Russia is called the iconostasis.
Yes.
And they've added this to turn it into a church. And originally, these windows would have been filled with icons. Totally the opposite of Islam, with the pictures of the saints, of Jesus, and the apostles. So for the Muslims, they're facing this direction.
Yes.
The Orthodox Christians would all be facing this way.
This way, yes.
So a sacred place for two very different cultures. What I find so fascinating and beautiful about this mosque are all the different symbols, and that they come from different cultures, but they mean the same thing. We have the Christian cross here. These tessellations that show infinity. There's no beginning or end. And we have the exact same thing right here with the Islamic 8-pointed star, the sign of immortality. So on the very same, a church, a mosque together, very different symbols from very different cultures saying the exact same thing.
Yes.
Modern Kars is a cosmopolitan reflection of this mix of ethnic and cultural influences. The Turkish way to get a feel for a city is over a coffee.
You were born in Kars.
Yes.
You grew up here.
Yes.
Why do you love your hometown?
We have a multicultural, traditional things inside the city. So many people live here. Russian, Armenian, Germans, Estonians, so many people live. And every people affects our culture, I think.
So even though you have these other cultures that some of them were invaders, even then you're still proud of these things that you've adopted.
Yes, because we are still using their, traditions still here. We are not Russian, but we are, as a Turk, we are using their tradition. We are still using their tradition here.
What do you miss most about Kars when you go away?
I miss a friendly life here. And in the other cities, you cannot find this friendly life. And I miss the meat.
The meat?
Meat, yes, because we love eating meat without spicy.
So Kars, come for the meat, stay for the architecture.
Yeah.
And the friends.
Yes.
I think I hear some thunder. We might
Raining
get wet.
now. It's raining now.
Biblical rain is nothing new in eastern Turkey. The 350-kilometer journey from Kars to Van passes Mount Ararat.
Mount Ararat, supposedly the final resting place of Noah's Ark. And now I'm on my way to meet the descendants of some of his passengers.
Arriving on the shores of Lake Van, Turkey's largest body of water, Andrew is taking a boat to Akdamar Island and the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. For company, he has a Van cat. According to legend, these unique water-loving cats were passengers on the Ark.
The Van cat, beautiful, fluffy white color. And most special of all are her eyes. One is golden amber yellow, and the other is the same color blue as Lake Van. The Van cat is believed to have been domesticated almost 9,000 years ago and is descended from the African wildcat. They believe that it evolved right here on the shores of Lake Van by fishing, and that's why this cat is actually fascinated by water and can swim.
Akdamar Island in Lake Van is a short journey from Van city. The main draw is the 10th century Cathedral of the Holy Cross, an important place of pilgrimage for Armenians. Perched high above the shore, getting to it requires a bit of legwork. But why do so many people make this effort? Akdamar Cathedral is a fine example of the legendary prowess of Armenian builders. But it is the interior, with its stunning frescoes, that takes Andrew's breath away.
This is a beautiful church. And for me, there's never too many churches, because to really understand the Armenian past in Turkey, you have to kind of put the pieces together. And this church here on Akdamar Island is a very important piece. The colors are here, the building is intact. It reminds me a lot of Ani, but it's like we filled in all the gaps here. Just beautiful, really beautiful. You can almost hear the monks whispering in the 12th century still. I really dislike when travelers say that you've seen one church, you've seen them all, because it's just not true. Each is unique, and we don't just travel to see things, we travel to feel things. Crossing this lake, climbing this island, and coming to the Church of the Holy Cross, you feel something. The artwork here is just extraordinary. The colors of the frescoes, the faces, these are the faces of the history of this place looking down on you. And that's why we come here, to see something that could have been lost, that holds the breath of history from over 1,000 years.
The exterior of the cathedral is adorned by carved reliefs depicting Old Testament stories. Jonah and the whale, David and Goliath, Adam and Eve.
This church is over 1,000 years old, and yet it is in fantastic condition, which is just remarkable. And to think that we almost lost it, because back in 1951, this church was scheduled to be demolished. And it just so happened that the day before they knocked this down, the Turkish writer Yaşar Kemal was visiting, found out and intervened and saved it, which is why we have it today.
In eastern Turkey, the old is never far from the new. To get a personal view of the city, Andrew has the company of travel consultant Sabahattin Elkan, born and bred in the city. He suggests that after a week on the road, Andrew might like a spruce up.
Berber, I understand that.
This is Berber, haircut.
I've had my hair cut all over the world, and I always just take the chance. Just got to do it. Just walk in. You never know what you're going to get, but it's always an adventure. Lovely, really lovely feeling. Oh my God, he's ripping the hair off my cheek.
Yeah, it's very traditional.
Oh my God.
Is it yours?
Yes. Oh,
He's gonna do something else?
oh, is he burning my ear?
No, he just...
Burning the hair off my ear. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna wash your...
Okay. He's gonna wash my face. Okay.
Nice. It may be a little bit burned.
Oh my God. Oh.
Sorry about that.
No, I love it. It's great.
Çok sağ ol. Çok sağ ol. Teşekkürler.
Van is a city famous for its cheese. In fact, cheese is such an obsession in Van that it has this place, called the Historic Cheese Bazaar. Andrew, being a cheese fanatic himself, is in his element.
All right, so tell me what this is here.
These are the specialty of Van cheese. They use the herbs, actually wild herbs from the mountains.
I can smell it. It's floral, but also almost like a pickled smell.
Exactly.
Yes. Can we taste some?
Sure.
I want to try some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teşekkürler. Whoa, that's strong.
Salty.
It's beautiful, but it's like a punch.
Yeah.
It's salty. It's floral. I mean, this is a lot of cheese. How often are you eating cheese in Van?
Minimum 3 times in a day, for sure in the morning, breakfast, and then after we finish lunch, we have to have a little bit of it. We call it polish.
I like that. I'm gonna incorporate that. I need to polish every meal with a little bit of cheese.
The herbs itself. Yeah.
And then these are the plants. These are the
These
herbs.
are the plants.
Yeah. Good. It's like dill pickles.
Present-day Van sits on the site of Turska, settled by the Eurasian people of the region some 3,000 years ago. Van's brand new museum of Eurasian culture has been designed to reflect the citadel built by the Eurasians in the 9th century BC. An imposing fortress on sheer cliffs, 100 meters above the surrounding plains. It is a symbol of power and control that was exercised over the region. It's the best place to get an overview of the city today.
Standing here, I feel like we're in the center of the universe. We've got this ring of mountains, we've got this gorgeous lake. It's so quiet, it's so peaceful, and yet I know every direction we look is the history of some huge empire. Looking across it, this is a modern city. It's beautiful, it's shiny, there's metal and glass. This is a 21st century metropolis.
But when you coming a couple miles far from the new city down here, you can see there is actually 3,000 years old, a fortress. This fortress has been used continuously the last 3,000 years. So they say even it's the longest castle has ever been continuously used.
Following the old trade routes west takes Andrew to Mardin, a jumble of narrow lanes and stone buildings, cascading down a steep hillside, overlooking the Mesopotamian plain. Old Mardin is a place to engage all of the senses. Vibrant and scented. A maze of passages and stairways. An easy place for Andrew to get lost. Andrew's wander through the labyrinth of Mardin's alleyways brings him eventually to the Zincharia Madrasa, a 14th century Quranic school.
The Zincharia Madrasa was a place of formal education. Young boys came here to study for 9 months out of the year, things like theology as well as astronomy and geometry. And every part of the design was used as a teaching tool. Water is a symbol of life in Islam, and this fountain spells out the 5 stages of human life, beginning with birth, then childhood, leading on to the adult life, narrowing right into old age, and then ending at the afterlife, which is the inner pool of the madrasa. I could get pleasantly lost on the streets of Mardin. You have these narrow canyon streets surrounded by very old stone, going up and down a labyrinth of staircases and hidden passageways. And you really see that the action is behind the scenes. It's through the windows and doorways. You see people baking bread, making soap, playing music. It's as if life here has never stopped, only now the whole world comes here to experience it firsthand. Mardin is a very busy tourist town, but for Turks, people come here from all over Turkey to take in the culture and the history and just the architecture. This street is just throbbing with shops, jewelry, food. It has almost a carnival atmosphere to it.
One big draw for visitors to Mardin is Telkari silver, intricate jewelry handmade locally, but renowned the world over. Professor Sarhat Harman is Andrew's personal shopper.
This is telkari.
Yes, Andrew, these are telkari.
It's almost like lace made out of silver.
Yes.
Just such fine, fine wires.
Yes, very, very tiny wire. And the art of telkari is disappearing because
Why?
It takes long time to make the product. They are very unique, they are handmade, and it's very difficult to make the same product Each one has unique.
Wow. So when do men wear these rings?
They wear these rings in their daily life.
Every day.
Yes, every day.
They're beautiful, but they're big.
Yes, they have special stones.
This one's beautiful.
Yes, it looks like beautiful.
Now, is there a limit to how many rings you can wear?
To each finger, one.
Each finger, one.
Yeah, one.
Okay. When you're shopping and you can't decide, there's only one thing to do. Buy them all.
To freshen up after a hot and sticky day, Serhat suggests a visit to his local Turkish bath, a 13th century hammam. With its roots in Roman baths, which became popular throughout the Ottoman era, it's a tradition going back over 1,000 years, cleansing in a hot, steamy room whilst unwinding and socializing with friends and colleagues. The process starts with the removal of dead skin with an abrasive pad.
We call this process in Turkish language kese. And you know, hammam, that culture dates back to the Roman times.
It actually feels pretty nice.
Yes, it's very nice.
It's such a beautiful view, these spots of colored sunlight pouring down. It's like a slow motion disco. Already, I feel like I'm taking part in the timeless tradition of travelers. The hammam is not just Turkish. People have been traveling these roads, the Silk Road, the spice routes, passing through Mardin. Imagine a long day on the back of a camel. You're sore, you're exhausted. You come here and wash, and already I feel cleaner and better.
Serhat has one last thing to share. His favorite view from the hammam's roof.
Now, just look around. This is all the Mesopotamian plain. This is where the civilization started.
Even I feel a connection to this place.
Yes.
Just as a human being.
Of course.
Because looking out across there, this is where farming began.
Yes.
It's the first place in the whole world where people farmed crops.
That's correct. This plain is where our ancestors start to farming, start to domesticate wild animals.
And for me, this is so exciting because as a schoolboy, we heard about the Fertile Crescent. We read about Mesopotamia, the earliest human civilization. And to see it in real life is very powerful for me.
Throughout the history, Christians, paganists, Jewish people, and Islamic people stayed and live in Mardin, and still living. I can feel and taste history, and also that multiculturalness brings a uniqueness to the Mardin foods. You can taste Arabic food, Assyrian food, Turkish food. Mardin cuisine is a mixture of them.
To better understand this melting pot of culinary influences, Andrew's heading for a city with a reputation for having the best food in Turkey. Mardin's magical lights fade into the rearview mirror as the journey east continues to Antakya, formerly known as Antioch. Here, trade routes met the Mediterranean, which brought travelers from the south and west. Those travelers included the apostles Paul and Peter, and St. Peter's Grotto, hewn from a cave overlooking the city, played a vital role in the development of Christianity.
At first glance, this humble limestone cave might not seem like much, but in fact, it's the womb of Christianity, because this place in Antioch represents a pivotal moment in Christian history, where the teachings of one man, Jesus Christ, came from Jerusalem and began to spread across the Roman Empire. We know that St. Peter came here in around 50 AD, and that he stayed 1 year teaching people, in fact, the Greeks, about Jesus Christ. And we know from the Bible, Book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 26, that it was in this church that the followers of Christ were first called Christians. It's believed Turkey represents the birthplace of Christianity. Antioch features prominently in the Bible. We know that St. Paul came here around 35 AD, that he came on several different missions here, and Antioch really represents the beginning of this mix of religions. Paul was a Roman citizen, but also a Jew who had converted to Christianity. We also had Hellenistic Jews here and Greek Christians, and they were all living side by side. When we read Paul's letters that were written here in Antioch, he begins to answer this question of respect for different religions, and that tradition began here in Antioch.
Antakya, the capital of Hatay province, has a modern population of over 200,000 people, with a cosmopolitan mix of faiths and ethnic groups that are proud of their peaceful coexistence. These diverse cultural influences infuse the region's food with a heady mix of flavors. Local gourmet chef Ekram Shirin is serving up a typical Hatay meal, even allowing Andrew into his kitchen to assist with the preparation.
Oh, it smells very nice. You get the onion, the mint, and the spinach. So this is a common dish in Hatay, even at breakfast time?
Breakfast time, lunch time, dinner time, all day.
The first course is derujet, a kind of gnocchi.
Lovely flavors. I'm getting a dozen different spices, and each one hits in quick succession. It's like a geography lesson. I'm getting cinnamon from the Far East, getting Arabian spices, Asian spices, European flavors. Just like this place is a crossroads. It's all here in this dish. Again, the butter, sizzling butter. It immediately goes brown.
Brown is good, very good.
And this is cooked for how long?
5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, not in the middle, kind of.
Next is azur, a traditional slow-cooked meaty feast.
Every culture that lives in Antakya makes this dish. Muslims, Jews, Christians, this is what they have in common. But the chef told me that each one makes it slightly differently. That is a flavor you only get with time. This is the opposite of fast food. Oh, good? Thumb up?
Very good.
Okay. Like this?
And for dessert, irmik halvasi with cheese.
That's my favorite. It's buttery, creamy, sweet, and smooth with a nutty finish. It's the ultimate comfort food. And I think that's what struck me the most about what Chef Eskrim said, is that above all, the food in Hatay has heart.
The art of living life to the full goes back thousands of years in Antakya. Be cheerful, enjoy your life, is the message carried by this mosaic from the 2nd century. It's part of an impressive collection of Greco-Roman antiquities held in the city's archaeological museum. The museum's striking modernist exterior is typical of Turkey's eye on the future, even when it is inviting you to step into its ancient past. Professor Hatice Pamir is the archaeologist responsible for overseeing some of the region's most notable excavations and the discovery of many artifacts on display.
So who does this represent?
He represents the king of the land. His name is Shupiluluma. He was a king and ruled from the Hatay to Palestine 1,000 years before Christ.
So this is what the kings look like at the beginning of the Old Testament. Curly hair, bracelet, a beard, and very wide eyes.
Yes.
Hatice's most significant discoveries are some of the biggest and best mosaics in the world. But they're in a very surprising location. In modern Antakya, the streets of Greco-Roman Antioch still exist in many places beneath the city. And the best place to see it is not in the museum, but within the foundations of a modern hotel. Here, architectural innovation frames historic Antioch and one of its main streets.
So can we say that the Apostle Paul may have walked on these streets?
We can say that he walked on that street because the foundation of the city goes back at 300 BC.
So this was a very busy place.
Yes.
And everyone was rubbing shoulders with each other. People from different parts of the world were mixing on this very street.
Yeah. We know that the Antioch is a metropolis, like in London or New York or Paris. It was the main connection points to the West world, to the East world.
So major global capital at the time.
Hatice's most important discoveries were mosaics. The one covering the forum floor is the world's largest, extending over 1,000 square meters. But the centerpiece of a wealthy Roman villa is even closer to her heart.
So we are going inside a dining hall.
This is just their dining room.
The dining room, but the three parts. In the Roman times, the dining hall is very important because all a kind of social meeting, business meeting, political, discussing everything here.
This is beautiful.
The extraordinary detail in the mosaic panels, assembled from tiny, individual fragments of colored stone, are what set this mosaic apart. In particular, the detail and shading of the human form. The complexity of the narratives featured is what makes these mosaics exceptionally rare. Here, the central panel depicts the story of Pegasus.
I've never seen anything like this before, but from a global perspective, why is this mosaic unique?
The artistic value and the complete condition, and also the narrative style. That's why it is very important.
Now, Andrew's journey takes him from Antakya to Şanlıurfa, a large city of over 500,000 residents, often referred to by them as Urfa. Its bazaar has, for centuries, been where roads and lives have met in a glorious exchange of commerce, culture, and color. It's a hectic and chaotic glimpse into this ancient way of doing business.
This is my first time in a Turkish bazaar. I don't know how to behave. Already sensory overload, and I'm loving it.
Artisans and traders lure the passing customer with a barrage of tempting flavors and exotic aromas.
Everywhere you just smell spices, and this is the spice route, and it's alive today. People have been trading and buying spices here literally for thousands of years, and it's probably why Turkish food is so good. This is chamomile. Make tea with this, chamomile tea. You can buy food here, clothes, carpets, but you can also get good luck. I believe he's making good luck charms. And this does protect against the evil eye because it's a mirror, it reflects. So if somebody has evil intentions, if you have this hidden on your person, it will reflect and bounce back on them. So nobody knows, but don't try anything. I'm buying a bell. You know, this is a real working market. This is not for tourists. The people shopping here live here. Everything that is for sale is being used every day right here in Turkey. This place is authentic.
At the heart of Şanlıurfa's bazaar is the 16th century Ottoman inn known as Gümrük, a social hub then and now.
This is the original caravanserai. So back in the days of the Silk Road, the traders would come here, the camels would be untethered, they would rest for the night. At the lower arcade and up here, people would have rooms where they would sleep. And yet, even today, this place is still buzzing. It's still alive. It's amazing.
Şanlıurfa was a key staging post on the silk and spice trading routes, but also an important destination for another group of travelers. This busy complex of mosques, gardens, and sacred fish ponds is not just a favorite with locals enjoying family time. It is a place of pilgrimage for Christians and Jews, as well as Muslims. And this is because the common patriarchal figure of all three faiths, Abraham or Ibrahim, is believed by some to have been born here.
Academics argue about whether or not this is the actual cave. What's important to me is that people here in Urfa have been telling stories about Abraham for as long as we've had written language. And it's quite touching to see all of these people coming to venerate this common ancestor that we have. And for me as a traveler, just to be here, to look into this cave, and to be reminded that all of us come out of the earth, makes it a sacred place.
When King Nimrod ordered Abraham to be hurled into fire, legend has it that God came to the rescue, turning the fire into this water in Balikli Gul, and the charred wood turning into fish. The story may be fantasy, but the carp are considered sacred. Locals gather around Balikli Gul to feed the fish, particularly on Fridays. For Hajj pilgrims making their way to Mecca, it has long been a place to pause their journey, a tradition that has led to an especially welcoming attitude towards strangers in Şanlıurfa. Local businessman Omar Ademoglu has been feeding the fish of Balikli Gul since he was a child.
Where does this tradition of hospitality come from?
It's come from, every year the Muslim is going to the Hajj, so Urfa is on the Hajj way. People is stopping here, just taking rest. Local people, they invite to Hajj people to their home, and they share their foods. Me and you, if we just walk around here, stop any place, so people will ask us, would you like to drink something, but just for free. Our beliefs can be different, but we still can live together.
It's a reminder that we all come from somewhere else.
Yes.
We all come from another time.
Yeah.
And that a lot of people have lived before us.
We call Ibrahim in Islam, and Christian is called Abraham.
And it means father of many nations.
Exactly.
So here we are in a city of many nations.
Exactly.
Şanlıurfa is also a city of many civilizations who have left an archaeological legacy which has led to the rewriting of human history. Scratch the surface in Şanlıurfa and some ancient ruin is likely to reveal itself. The city is a storybook for Helal al-Mustafa, a Syrian who has returned to her family roots in Urfa, equipped with a degree in archaeology.
Urfa is not just one thing. I'm seeing all of these different buildings. It's almost confusing. It's hard to keep track of.
No, it is actually. The archaeological discoveries is about levels and layers. So, for example, there you can like a very modern shopping mall, and then next to it you have these caves. These caves, I remember, like 10 years ago, they were like a place for local people to go just play around. Recently, they excavate there and they found like mosaic back to Roman era. So how they say it, a wide fabric of different eras and civilization.
I mean, that to me is just remarkable. It's actually mind-blowing to think how all these pieces fit together. How does it feel now to be an archaeologist, to be digging through these layers of history?
I'm lucky to be here in this city. First, because I belong to here, it's my root, and second, because it's a gift for an archaeologist.
Just 12 kilometers northeast of Şanlıurfa is an archaeological discovery that caused the story of human civilization to be rewritten. Göbekli Tepe. Here, carved stone monoliths were arranged to form complex buildings almost 12,000 years ago, predating Stonehenge by an astonishing 7,000 years. They were hand-chiseled from the ground and transported to the structure's present location from a shelf of limestone several hundred meters away, evidence that Neolithic man was far more advanced than previously believed. Dr. Lee Clare has been at Göbekli Tepe for 6 years as coordinator of research and fieldwork for Şanlıurfa Museum. He's showing Andrew the quarry where stone for what was considered the world's oldest temple was sourced.
This is an impressive hole. Read this stone for me. What does it say?
Well, we're now in the plateau. just to the north of Göbekli Tepe of the mound. And you can see here, obviously, that they've been carving away. This is a negative of a block that's been quarried.
So show me these grooves here.
Okay, we've got some grooves here, and this was part of, obviously, of the technology they were using of splitting the stone, okay, and before they dragged it out. Because limestone's quite an easy stone to split. And of course, they would have had probably the levers coming, wooden levers, to prise the stone up, split it, and of course, then after that, drag it out.
We're talking about at least a 10-ton piece of rock.
Probably, yeah.
But to be fair, something like this would even be a challenge with modern engineering.
Sure. Obviously, they had experience in working this stone. They knew what they were doing, and of course, it's technology. We don't have it today. It's just lost over the generations.
Over the brow of the hill, protected by an elaborate canopy, the work of these earliest of stonemasons is now on display. The T-pillars are thought to represent the human form, although they also had a structural purpose, supporting a roof or upper story. Understanding their meaning is an ongoing process. Dr. Claire has the very latest interpretation.
Incredible. This is the T-pillar.
This is one of the T-pillars, one of the central pillars, and this is one of several of these monumental buildings that we have at the site. You can see quite clearly that it's a human depiction. The top of the T being the head, and then on the shaft here you have the arms coming down the body, and the belt coming around, and on the front of the pillar, the hands coming in and positioned on the stomach.
I mean, it's even proportional. This is the thumb, the human hand, the arms, and then the belt.
And the belt coming around, and of course,
right
if you look carefully, we have a belt buckle as well. And hanging down from the belt, we have a loincloth of what appears to be fox fur, and you have that hanging down, and so it's a pretty remarkable piece of work. These are obviously depicting different characters that had a place in the narratives of these prehistoric people.
So take me back in time. It's 10,000 BC. What does this room look like?
If you look upon what you're standing, I mean, this is the painstakingly smoothed natural bedrock. That would have been the floor of the building. And then, of course, around us we have the wall, the round oval-shaped wall with the pillars at regular intervals. So we think that these buildings were buildings. They were roofed over. We think probably that the pillars were also adorned with fabrics or perhaps even colour. And so it had been a quite different sort of atmosphere than we know it today from standing here in the excavation.
So there is some kind of belief system happening here?
I mean, it's often been referred to as the world's first temples here at Göbekli Tepe. I'm not too keen on the word temple because it implies, you know, a very organised religion. I don't think these T-pillars are depicting deities or gods. I think these were stories about the ancestors. These are figures within a narrative.
But what does Göbekli Tepe tell us about our own human ancestors?
Well, basically, it's telling us that, you know, they were capable of more than we originally gave them credit for. Previous to Göbekli Tepe, we thought that these hunter-gatherer populations were not in the position, they didn't have the capability, the knowledge, the technology to make buildings like this. And of course, with the discovery of this site, we realized that wasn't the case.
Calling Göbekli Tepe old doesn't do it justice. This monument is 6 times older than the city of London, more than 7,000 years older than the pyramids at Giza, older than pottery, than writing, older than the wheel. From the ruins at Ani on the easternmost border to the plains of Mesopotamia and the towering stones at Göbekli Tepe, I've explored a region of Turkey that remains virtually undiscovered by travelers. It's been beautiful, unforgettable, and a privilege.